Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for watching. I thank all my subscribers. And where we left off in that last video, I had just finished laying the fiberglass down on this float pod over here on the left hand side. And now, like I said, we're just going to pick up right where we left off. As you can see right here, I've got the fairing compound laid down on this side. I'm waiting for that to dry now so I can start my sanding. And that is where we are at on that for right now. I'll be back. Well, alrighty then folks, I am back. And as you can see, I've been busy sanding on this float pod right here. Now, I have not yet laid down that micro balloon fairing compound on this one. I'm still sanding out the raw edges of the fiberglass. I'm going to try to get that done tonight. But over here, I've started sanding on that fairing compound. I will probably come back and lay down a little bit more fairing compound on top of that. As you can see right there, I've got some streaks that were caused by the Bondo paddle, and yeah, I'll just lay some more fairing compound on top of that. I will probably top that off with that System 3 right there. It's just a whole lot easier to use than this. Of course, you know, this is fiberglass resin mixed with micro balloons, and it's just a little bit more time consuming to mix all this up. Now that works good for you know, the initial coat of fairing compound works really good, but I'm going to just finish it off with that. Like I said, it's just a whole lot easier, a whole lot quicker to use. And then once I get all of this sanded out, then I will go ahead and lay down the fairing compound on this pod, get all that caught up, get this area back here ready for paint. Okay folks, I did have to stop for a couple of days. I had some work to do on the trailer that the boat is sitting on. Still not completely finished out yet. I've got to bolt down the bunks. I just had them sitting in the brackets there, but I didn't have them bolted down. So I have a couple other things I want to do to the trailer in order to get it road ready and to get this boat ready for a trip to the lake. Alright folks, I will be back. I need to get busy sanding. Okay folks, so I got that left side float pod faired out right there. Got the red mud on that, and I had some left over, so I just came over here to the right side and touched up a few places. So that is it. It's going to take that overnight to dry, to set up. So I'm going to call it a night. It's late. I'm tired. I will see you in the morning. I'll be back. Okay, folks. So the float pods are about 99% done. I did have to come back with some additional fairing compound, touch up a few places. I had some of that fiberglass weave still showing through right in this area here and down on this corner, and so I'm just giving that time to dry before I sand that out. I had a little air bubble right in here that I had to take care of, so we're just going to let that dry. I'll sand that out tonight, and for all intents and purposes, they are ready to paint. Now, moving on. Right here, I had to make some little pieces to attach to the rub rail, and actually, I guess I should call this a rub rail mounting surface. I think that would be a more appropriate term. But I had to make some pieces to attach to the rub rail mounting surface, and what these pieces are going to be, they're going to be like I guess, for lack of a better term, they're going to be wear pads. And this is where the strap that's going to hold the boat to the trailer, this is where the strap is actually going to run. It's going to hook in right here. I had to fabricate a tie down point right there. This trailer did not have any tie down points on it, so I had to make this piece, and then the strap will hook into that hole right there, and it will go all the way across the stern down the other side. And so you know, you get moving down the road, you know, stuff vibrates and moves around, and I was kind of concerned that those straps would wear in this area right here. They would cause some wear right here, and so I made these pieces, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat these with that graphite carbon fiber to kind of help just take some of that abrasion, because you know, those straps can be a little bit abrasive, and then the rest of it is going to get a vinyl excuse me, it's going to get a vinyl rub rail all the way around. And I have about 50 foot of this material right here over on the other side of the garage. And once I get to the point where I finally round these edges over and get the glass on, then I'll be ready to install this vinyl rub rail and these two pieces. Of course, I have one here, one for the other side. And again, that's just to keep the strap, the tie-down strap, from wearing into this area. And of course, this being vinyl, I couldn't run vinyl through this area. I mean, that tie-down strap would have eat that vinyl up in no time. And so that's what these pieces are for. All right, folks, I'm going to get busy. Got a lot more work to do. I will be back. Okay, folks, this is what I was talking about. Talked about these little wood blocks that I was going to attach right here at the rub rail to keep the tie-down strap from rubbing into the boat. And I got those coated with carbon fiber. Now, laminating a piece of wood with carbon fiber, it's a little bit different process than when you use fiberglass. Fiberglass, it laminates the plywood very easily. This it takes a little bit more doing. You have to wrap it with wax paper, tape it down real good. The right way to do this is actually to vacuum bag it, but I don't have that type of equipment, so we'll just do the best we can with the wax paper and the tape. But anyway, all that aside, I've got these pieces made. I'm going to put one more flow coat of resin over the top of these just to seal that carbon fiber down real good. And then once that has set up, I'll be ready to get these attached. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so those pieces right there are done. I just finished putting a flow coat of resin on those, and just need to walk away and let that set up now. I came back with that flow coat because I did see a few little places where the resin had not penetrated into that carbon fiber when I laminated that, but that's all taken care of now. Like I said, the correct way to laminate carbon fiber is to vacuum bag it. I just don't have that equipment. I mean, that's very expensive equipment, and so I just did the next best thing, just wrapped it with wax paper and tape. But I think we got it looking pretty good there. All right, folks, I'll be back. Okay, folks, as you may recall in that last video, when I was boring this hole right here, we pan back a little bit. Remember, about a third of the way in, I stopped and mentioned that I had hit the head of a screw. Of course, I had long ago covered up those screws with fiberglass and painted over them. I didn't know that screw was there, but this is the plug that came out of that hole. I'd say my wood boring bit, I'd say it's pretty sharp. Okay, folks, I just wanted to show that to y'all. Okay, folks, so while we wait for that resin to dry on those two pieces, I'm going to resume sanding on this back deck back here, this cap. I've got to round these corners over in preparation for fiberglass, and same thing over here. Got to get all of this rounded over. Like I said, I'm going to glass it out to about right here, get this area done so I can hang my outboard. All right, time to get busy. folks, almost forgot to tell y'all, I have now started fiberglassing this rear deck back here, beginning with the corners. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we got the outside corners done, and tomorrow I'll come back and get these corners right here on that forward edge right there, and those inboard corners. And this is about as far forward as I'm going to go for now. I'll finish the rest of that later on, probably after I put that forward deck on. But once I get that done, get that out of the way there. Once I get that done, then I just need to lay down the big sheets and get this area finished out. Alright, I'll be back. Okay, good morning, and I am back, folks. And I am still in the process of taping out the corners. And I had a little bit of a dog fight with these right here this morning. And what was happening was, I mean, the vertical surface wet down, the fiberglass stuck just fine, but down at the bottom, even though I rounded these corners off right here, the fiberglass is still wanting to straighten out and pull away from that corner. There's just not enough surface area here on the bottom. There we go. There's just not enough surface area down here for that fiberglass to stick to, so I had to get the wax paper out and the blue tape, and we'll have to leave that there until that fiberglass cures. Over here wasn't a problem. I have a little bit more wood underneath there, and I don't know if I can get a good shot of that or not. There's just more surface area underneath here for this fiberglass to stick to. That did not give me any problems. Had a few air bubbles to work out, but overall, I mean, that section right there went fine. These pieces right here on the that vertical surface, on the bottom of that vertical surface right there of that cap, they're going to give me trouble. I'm probably just going to have to, whenever I cut those pieces of tape, I'll just have to put some that blue tape on the edge and just allow enough to roll around and just tape it from the back side. And that's how we're going to have to solve that problem, because like I said, there's just not enough surface area there. It's only a 3/8 inch wide piece of plywood, and it's rounded over. There's just not enough to stick to, and so we're just going to have to come up with a good workaround, but we'll get there. Alright folks, I need to continue this process right here. Well, good morning folks. I am back again, and as you can see right there, I have most of this upper surface fiberglass now, the upper surface of this rear deck. And of course, the reason I didn't fill these little areas in is because, well, that was just dictated by the width of the sheet of fiberglass that I was working with right here. No problem, I can come back, fill these in later, and then once that's done, I'll be able to start my fairing and priming and painting. With all that said though, I do want to give you a little bit of a heads up. I'm going to go ahead and end this video right here. I do have to stand down for about a week and a half. I'm going to be teaching a Bible lesson at my church in the month of June 18th. And I need about a week and a half to prepare my lesson plan. So like I said, I'm just going to have to stand down on this build. My faith does come first. So with all that said, I do thank you all for watching. I thank all of my subscribers. And as I always say, in all things, to God be the glory. And we will see you next time.